Well, hello there. How are you doing? My name's Scott MacArthur, and thanks for tuning into this rather unplanned little broadcast. I've done this because this week has just kind of summed up the life of someone who's trying to get into live broadcasting and filmmaking. It's been an absolute nightmare. I had problems, first of all, with this very software I'm using. It's called Restream. Turns out it doesn't like the updated version of Chrome. So I'm currently broadcasting to you using Chrome 86 rather than the new version, Chrome 89. Now, the guys over at Restream are working on it and trying to fix it. So hopefully it'll be okay in the next few weeks. I'm not holding my breath. These streaming platforms seem to be perpetually in beta. Which is frustrating, but it's also a fact of life. I think we've all got to get used to working with things that are emergent, and I thought that emergent theme would be one that I could talk about for a few minutes tonight. And don't worry, I'm not going to keep you for the usual 45 minutes. It's only going to be 20 minutes, but there's a couple of things I just wanted to publicly say sorry about. I was so looking forward to sharing the platform with some inspiring, phenomenal women on International Women's Day on the 8th. And unfortunately, that was the day that the internet went down, so we couldn't do that. We are, however, going to run it next week, and it's going to be happening on the 17th of March at 10 a.m. It's going to run all day. Now, I'm quite excited about it because it's got the same wonderful lineup of inspiring women, including Michelle Mills-Porter, who's absolutely fantastic storyteller, Joanne Lockwood, who is inspiring, Jean Fleming, who is fantastic at leadership coaching, Dr. Linda Shaw, who is an authority on neuroscience and how the brain works, and then Holly Whittles, who, if you saw my interview with Holly last week, she's a bright light, and she shines real light on the trials and tribulations of working as an entrepreneur and as an HR director. So she's got quite an unusual mix of skills. Also on the show, though, and I hadn't said this previously, but just to hopefully entice a few folk along, I've curated some other content for the show, and it's mainly, now, this won't surprise you. You know, I love the mythopoetic side of the world, the sort of the way of looking at the world through, wonderful fiction that brings the world to life, like truthful fiction. So we're going to have poetry by a range of very different women. I've got Britta B, who is phenomenal. I'm going to talk about Nan Shepherd, who I think should be a national institution in Scotland, where she came from, but also in the UK. But she's just not, and I think it's terrible. So I'm going to talk about Nan. She's an incredible woman. I'm going to talk about Marie Curie. I've got a lovely little film about Marie Curie. We've got poetry from Sarah Kay, Maya Angelou, of course. I'm going to talk about the work of Krista Tippett, and Aya Mayrock is going to feature as well. So I've got a really mixed and interesting gathering of thoughtful women that I know, and also women that I really, really, really think you should know. So I hope you'll join us on the 17th. It'll be great. And but 30 hours worked into that conference. It was such a blow when I went down, honestly. What happened was, incidentally, my internet provider is a company called GigaClear. GigaClear, fine, nothing wrong with GigaClear. The service is very, very good. However, the internet went down, and it transpires it wasn't in my house. It was actually in the box outside, and one of the little switches that put the fibre into my house was broken. So the guys came round as quick as they could. They're very busy. They got it done, and we're up and running again. So that's what happened. Anyway, the other thing that didn't happen. Now, it was so disappointing. I have, as you know, on a Tuesday morning, 11:30 UK time, I do a live show about storytelling. And my guest, Ashok, is absolutely amazing. He's a lecturer, a neuroscientist. He's got a research team. They're looking at all sorts of things to do with the human brain, everything from face recognition to how the brain works. So absolutely fascinating. And I was so disappointed that I had to postpone Ashok on Tuesday this week. But I'm delighted to say that Ashok is going to join me on Tuesday next week. So please tune in. It's going to be a really, really interesting show, and I really hope that you've got the time just to pop in or watch us on hashtag replay and let us know what you think. But Ashok is the sort of guy who's doing his homework. He's coming prepared. So I'm looking forward to hearing what Ashok's got to say. He's a terrific guy. It's Ashok Janshoor. He's joining me next week. So I hope you can come into that. The other thing, now, I had a bit of luck yesterday. I was doing a keynote, and it was for Intra-Team, which is an organization run by a fellow called Kurt over in Denmark. And I've spoken a couple of times at Intra-Team. I love it. It's taken me to Stockholm, etc., a couple of times, and it's been really nice. And Kurt asked me if I would talk at the virtual conference this year. Now, fortunately, I pre-recorded my talk. Because I couldn't have been there. I couldn't have been there virtually because the internet was down. But they played the video, and I have to say I got some amazing feedback. I was absolutely touched about it. But even that didn't quite go to plan. I'm going to show you a tiny little bit of video here. Now this made my daughter laugh when she saw it. This is a little bit of video that I did trying to emulate some of those top tickers over in TikTok. But my first job was this. I worked as a research scientist. And I thought it was quite cool. But you might have noticed it was slightly wrong focus-wise. The software I used, it's called Focus On, it had just had an update. And despite, I've been using it for over a year, and it had just had an update, and there's something wrong with the update. So it's struggling to focus on me as the person in the picture, because I use an iPhone to do those videos, and normally it's really easy, but you don't get the bokeh effect, which is that sort of blurry background you get with a digital SLR, but you can do it using this particular app. Bloody thing wasn't working, was it? So not only did my internet go down, the bokeh effect was wrong. I was out of focus, but I still got fantastic feedback from the conference. So if any of you are watching, thank you very much. Honestly, last night when I received the email from Kurt saying that I'd been voted the top speaker for the first 2 days, and it gave me a list of the feedback, I was in tears. It was fantastic. It really helped. So thanks everyone over there in Denmark. And there was a few people all over the world actually, so it was quite nice. So thank you ever so much. It was fantastic. Thank you. Now, one of the quotes that I use now, one of my guests on I'll put it up actually. I've got a little Facebook group now where I'm trying to encourage people who are interested in storytelling to join. So if you're interested, come along. And we basically share stories. I'm doing a lot of behind the scenes work there. You know, how do I write a keynote? How do I write a presentation? What tools do I use? How do I deconstruct it? How do I rehearse it? All the things that you need to know if you've been asked to do a public talk or tell a story. And one of the people in the group called Amanda's the chief executive of Open UK. She said to me yesterday that she really appreciated a talk I did for her, and particularly when I said this, that personal development is the new pension. Personal development is the new pension. Now, I'm not sure I came up with that. I think I might have heard it on a podcast or something. So if someone's got it trademarked, I'm sorry, but if not, I'm having it. It really resonates. And the feedback I got from the Intra-Team conference was the same, as a few people said that particular phrase really stuck with them. Now, I don't like to just talk about stuff. I also like to do. So what I've done in the last couple of days, I've taken that to heart. And I'm doing two things in the next few weeks. For the first time in a long time, I've engaged a coach. Now, my wonderful, phenomenal woman, Samantha, organised it for me. And the coach is going to help me over the next 3 months. And I'm primarily going to get help with focus, because one of the things that I often have a problem with, I've read a lot, I've done a lot, I've had a few different careers, so I can go off in different directions. Now, that is often, as I tell in my elephant story when I talk about cognitive diversity, that is often a virtue. But every now and again, I get muddled, or I maybe overtalk. So I'm going to get help with that. And then to build on that, and I've not done this for a long time, I'm going to go through the battery of tests that is the Big Five, just to refresh my report. The last time I did a Big Five report was probably 10 years ago, and I've got it. And I'm not going to look at it. I'm just going to do the test again and see where it gets me. But and I've actually, what I've done, I think it's quite ironic, but quite funny. I've actually got the Jordan Peterson version of it. So, and I think Jordan is, he's a classic example of someone who half of what he talks about I think is just nonsense, and the other half is very interesting. I don't always agree with it, but very interesting. So I've gone to him for that test. So I'm not going to do it until probably Wednesday next week. So after the event, the Phenomenal Women event, I'll probably do it then, and then spend a couple of days working on it. Because the other thing I've got to do, and finally, the other thing I've got to do is I've got a keynote to do for the 16th, and this is for the Service Desk Institute. Now, this one's been on the burner for 15 months, and it's been postponed 2 or 3 times, obviously with all the things we've been having to deal with. They've been very patient, they've been very nice, and I said to them, how about I do a pre-record? Now, normally that's fine, but because my tech's been down, I'm a little bit behind schedule. So tomorrow, I'm going to be filming for the Service Desk Institute conference, which is on the 16th. What a lineup. I'll post it on LinkedIn and let you see who's all there. It's a terrific lineup and a really important conference. So I'm very much looking forward to doing that, and I'm very, very grateful for the opportunity. So that's all really. I just want to see if there's anybody who asked me a question. No, we're okay. I hope you found that interesting. I'm alive. I survived. Thank you for Michelle Mills Porter in particular for encouraging me to go ahead with International Women's Day thing, because I have to be honest, I felt a bit despondent. I was peed off, as I said in the note I put out today. I've just sent it out to the socials, so I was a bit peed off. But anyway, we got away with it. So thanks ever so much for tuning in. I'll see you hopefully on Tuesday with Ashok, 11:30. The Science of Storytelling. It's going to be an absolute cracker, folks. And if I don't see you there, I'll see you on the Thursday with the International Celebration of Phenomenal Women. So thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Scott MacArthur, and I hope you've enjoyed that and found that quite interesting. I got a nice little thumbs up from Callum. Thanks, Callum. I appreciate that. That was very good of you. And I'll be in touch with everyone, and I will see you on Tuesday morning. Thank you.